Okay, in my last video, I showed you how to clean residential dual wanding. Today, I'm going to show you how to do it in a commercial setting. It's going to have some furniture and it's going to have some carpets. Take a look. This commercial setting, the commercial glue down on concrete, every bit of it. Now you notice here some of the patterns here where they had these mats. You see how it looks brand new. It's been a long time since they cleaned it. I'm going to do two different things. I'm going to go ahead and do a dual method here. I'm going to clean with hot water extraction. I'm going to follow up with encapsulation. Hopefully some of those polymers will fill in some of the scratches and the voids and make it blend best as it possibly can. Same thing in there. Take a look at that one. Okay, just come back through here. A couple of offices. And we're going to grab these two chairs. I'm going to have the guys take the chairs outside, vacuum and clean them outside while one's working inside. Follow through here, see the full circle. This is all going to be done. Oh, this last thing I want you to see. Here, the guys got a little kitchenette. You see where there's been some water spills and stuff like that, food spills. We'll work on those, and I'll show you how to do that too. All right, we're going to go ahead and dual wand this whole place right here. I'm going to have you doing the furniture. I'm going to have you doing the carpet mat. I think we should use blue label here, give it a little nice smell, add some frog inside of it. And you're going to go ahead and mix up some Revive, do these chairs. I want y'all both to carry the chairs out first. Then you bring your hoses in, Matt. Get your hoses over here and knock this bad boy out. All right? Sure. Cool. Let's rock and roll. All right, you notice we got a couple of entry mats here. I'll remove those, put them over here. We'll vacuum. It's like we're vacuuming the furniture and vacuuming the carpets, but it's always a nice touch to go ahead and clean these so they don't track dirt onto their clean carpets. Also explain to the clients that you're to not put these back until the carpet's completely dry. They're not coming back till Monday, so I told them we'll leave them right here in the warehouse to dry. They can throw them right back in position and be good to go. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and have Nando just dry vacuum with the truck mount. I wanna mention to you, if you're going to dry vacuum with your portable or your truck mount, use a dust downer. What that basically does is a little piece, metal piece. We sell them in tmfshop.net. You can buy them about anywhere. And what it does is it runs your solution line through it. And by running your solution line through it, it adds moisture, so it's just not just dry dirt going through the whole time. Okay, you notice I've got Matt vacuuming in here. I cannot overemphasize how important it is to pre-vac. We all know it's important to pre-vac inside of a home, but even more so in a commercial location, because a lot of times there's a lot more traffic and it don't get vacuumed anywhere as much as it needs to. So Matt's going to take his time, cross clean. What I mean by that is he'll go north to south, he'll go east to west, especially in all the traffic patterns. And on top of it, I want to show you a cool little trick for doing furniture. Take a look outside. All right, he's going to be using the vacuum attachment I keep on my box truck. I like the one that has the little roller brush in there, so it really beats dirt up out of there. It does a great job. All I do is run it on low. You don't need to run your truck mount on high. You don't want that thing to overspin, but you'd be surprised. It does a great job vacuuming. Okay, I'm going to have Nando go ahead and mix up the Revive. Generally, it's only 2 ounces per gallon, but being these things are heavily sold and never been cleaned before, I'm going to go ahead and have Nando put at least 2, maybe even 4 ounces in there. Fill it up the rest of the way with water. You might want to fill this, I like to fill this with water first, then add this afterwards. That way you don't have a little bit of foam buildup and you get the proper amount of mixture inside there. Okay, for agitation, I'm going to have Nando using a horsehair brush. Always important to agitate your pre-spray. Also, never allow your pre-spray to dry. So you want to only spray one piece of furniture at a time, especially when you're working out in the sun. If it's light color furniture, you don't want to leave it out in the sun too long. It helps it to dry, lightens it, but if you leave it too long, it can bleach it. Then we get inside, I'll have Matt use the CRB. We'll be using the 12-inch. That's what I keep on my personal truck here. But we also have them in 17s, we have them in 10s, we have them in 20 inches. They're all available at tmfshop.net. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to be using Frog and Blue Label for inside to clean the carpets because it's been a long time since it's been cleaned. What does Frog do? Basically, this is for heavy-duty soils or oils and stuff like that that built up on carpet. If it's really dirty, you can use it straight. Personally, I like to use something like Blue Label and just boost it with this. So what we'll probably do is put about 4 scoops of the Blue Label in there and 2 scoops of the Frog. That'll raise the pH, cut through those oils, and do the maximum job. But remember, get your water as hot as possible. You can run it off truck mount if you want to, or if you got a deep sink, just work off of that. Okay, now when it comes to rinse, I got a few options here. I could use an acid rinse, but since this place hadn't been cleaned in almost 20 years, I'm gonna opt with something a little stronger. I could go with Formula 99, which kicks any carpets behind, but I think I'm gonna split the difference and just go with Black Label rinse. It smells great, matches the scent of this. It's gonna smell really good and turn out nice. Hey, I allow my guys to wear headphones as a pro tip, but I make them wear it only in one ear. That way they can hear the truck hear the customer, hear any problems that might develop, while they can still clean, listen to something they want to. Hopefully it's TMF videos.
Peekaboo, we're about to clean the carpet.
Okay, I keep 3 different types of upholstery tools on the truck. 2 of them are basically spray and vac type, but I am very particular and really enjoy the continuous flow type of tools. And now HydroMaster makes one that we sell also, but we use it on all of our trucks. What a continuous flow tool does is it continually flows the water. It's jetless. That way it removes the fatigue. It makes it easy to clean. On top of it, it keeps the water nice and hot, does a great job. And now they actually put a clear top on it so you can see everything's being extracted out. Take a look. Hey, all you need to do, Nando, on this tool right here is cut the water on and only pull upwards. Don't go against it. Sometimes you can mess up the tough of the material.
Okay.
Okay? On top of it, just run it clear and overlap your strokes. And you'll be surprised how nice it'll turn out. But look at how the Revive has already kind of cleaned it. The detergent in there has emulsified the soils and broke it up. So you want to run it as clear as possible through there, all right?
All right.
Good job. Okay, a pro tip when it comes to dual winding, you want to keep your runs as short as possible, especially if you have a weaker truck mount. On top of it, what you could do is you can pick up a couple of boosters, like a rocket booster. If you got a very small truck mount, you can run still 2 hoses. Remember, vacuum is most important, even more so than heat and anything else. So if you got enough vacuum, you can easily dual wind. So if you don't have a strong enough truck mount, or even have a couple of portables, pick up a couple of boosters. Okay, a couple of pro tips. When you're dual winding, you want to make sure you keep your hose runs as short as possible and as straight as possible. Notice how these are all bunched up, and notice how close this fitting is here. We almost had enough to make it. But what you want to do is keep your hoses as straight as possible to reduce the amount of friction. That maximizes your vacuum. Remember, vacuum is most important when it comes to cleaning, even more so than heat and anything else except agitation in your chemistry. So you want to keep that vacuum as high as possible. So if you have a weaker truck mount or you have a portable and you want to dual wind, pick up something like the rocket boosters, put those in line, and that'll increase your vacuum dramatically. Also on top of it, if you are backing up out of the building and you have a long run, go ahead and shorten your hose every single time, and that'll maximize your vacuum too. I want to give you a pro tip that's really important. It can actually save your life or your employee's life. When you're working in a tight spot like this industrial spot or tied up to a home, you want to park as far away as possible and make sure carbon monoxide is not coming inside the building. Unfortunately, a couple of franchise cleaners were cleaning not too far from here, and they found them the next day they had passed away from carbon monoxide poisoning. So this tip could save your life. I keep a carbon monoxide detector on my spot kit. And also you can hook it to your spot kit, or you hook it right up to your hip like that. It'll vibrate, it'll make a sound, and you'll know if it's going off. Now, if you notice on here, it's a 0. And that's where you want it. You want it at 0. That way you don't have to worry about anything. It can save you and save your employees' lives. Okay, for this little area right here, I'm going to do this myself. I'm going to walk you through the process and a couple little nuances and things that I do different than some other cleaners do. See if it works for you. If it does, great. If it doesn't, you don't have to do it. But I feel like going the extra mile makes a huge difference in the big 3s: repeats, reviews, and referrals. Okay, so I'm going to come in here. I'm going to pre-spray it with the pre-spray we mixed up, which is the blue label with the frog added to it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pre-agitate it. Then I'm going to go ahead and clean it. Now, what I'll do right around this area here where the mat was, you can kind of see how clean it was. I mentioned early on, and how dark it is here. Now, some of this is wear and tear, but I want to make sure I maximize it, get it as clean as possible. It's kind of like if you wash your hair twice, it comes cleaner. So what I'll do is I'll clean it real good, overlap my strokes, kind of like cleaning it twice. But if it doesn't come clean, suppose you get some oil on your hands, right? And you go wash your hands. You wash it one time, you still got a little oil left. What do? You wash them again, then it comes right off. The same thing here. So what I'll do is I'll clean it, and then I'm going to take a little bit of frog. I got 1 scoop of this, and almost a half a gallon. I'll respray this area, re-agitate it, re-clean it, and that'll really maximize it. Then after that, like I mentioned earlier on, I'm going to go ahead and mist some end cap, go over with post bonnet, and this place will be popping. Okay, I've noticed about a 75–80% difference. Now, another 25% is probably wear and tear, but just to make sure, I've pre-sprayed it, I've re-agitated it. Remember, I mixed up that little bit of frog, that super high pH. We'll make sure there's nothing left inside of here, and then I'll follow up with that end cap. He's finishing up the very last room. I'm going to go ahead and start post bond and let these guys take over, finish up this dual wand job. I'm going to take a little bit of end cap green by vac away. I'm just going to mist it down real good. That's all I'm going to do. I've already wet the bottom of the absorbent bonnet, but all around here. What I like about this job is the fact that it's been 20 years, it's been clean, so it's good for you guys to see real world results. Like I set the expectation level ahead of time. I let the customer know these carpets, because of lighting, because of wear and tear, it's not going to match under there, but I'll make it look the absolute best it can look. And he liked that. Of course, he wanted it for health reasons, but you wouldn't think he'd wait 20 years because of health reasons, right? Anyway, that's none of my business. And I ain't one talk. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and mist this down. We're going to post bond it. And the good thing about post bonnet is it'll look better the next day as these polymers start to crystallize. It'll look better and better. So everywhere through the traffic patterns and around all the mats, I'm going to take the time and post bond it, and you're going to get the best results possible. And that's what it's all about. Okay, I didn't need to bring the inline sprayer in for this. The reason being is because with the inline sprayer, now that the machine's gotten really hot, it'll start to cavitate and it won't deliver as much pre-spray. So I'm just going to hand pre-spray it using a Smith sprayer. Oh, and by the way, I really feel like these little Smith sprayers, they're the best. I keep one on each of my trucks, each one of them. The Hydroforce one and this one. The only reason I keep both is for videos, but really, to me, the Smith is the best. Wow, I never really expected those carpets to turn out that nice, honestly. You know, I always set the expectation levels ahead of time. I let the customers know, listen, these carpets are 20 years old. Under these chair mats, the carpet looks brand new, but outside of it, you've got lighting, sunshine, you've got traffic patterns, stuff like that, and wear and tear. And basically, it's never going to look exactly the same. So by setting those expectation levels, I under-promised and tried to over-deliver. And by going through all these different steps, it really even impressed me. I'm telling you what, this carpets almost look brand new. What'd you think? Let me know in the comments. Now, I recognize the fact, guys, and not many of you guys have a monster truck mount like we do. A lot of you basically just have the basic truck mount, maybe mid-size, even a large size, but they're not set up for dual wanding. So what can you do? Well, first off, I want you to understand that a smaller to medium truck mount is really not built for dual wanding, and even the larger ones sometimes aren't built for dual wanding. When they use the terminology dual wanding, what they mean is light dual wanding. So you're using upholstery with one, using carpets with the other. But what if you don't have the fittings for it? Well, all you have to do is go ahead and get yourself a splitter. You can get yourself a vacuum splitter like right here. You can get yourself a solution line splitter like right here. And they're available in the tmfshop.net. That way you can just use your standard lines you have right now and you can dual wand. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video production by tmfshop.net, better known as TruckMountForums.com. One thing I want to mention is that when I traveled the country for a couple of years meeting different cleaners, everybody had different ways of cleaning, and there was a lot of cool tips and tricks that I learned. So if you have some tips and tricks or how you might have done this job differently, please put it down inside the comments and we'll rock and roll from there. As always, remember we operate on the law of reciprocity. I believe if I help you become successful, you'll help me become successful. And I'm living proof of it at tmfshop.net. So we appreciate you supporting our small family business for all your cleaning needs. On top of it, please take the time to like, comment, subscribe, and ring that bell. I'm Rob Allen with Truck Mount Forums. Have yourself a great day.